Sir, you're out of order.
I show you out of order. You don't know what out of order is, Mr. Trask. I'd show you, but I'm too old. I'm too tired. I'm too fucking blind. If I were the man I was 5 years ago, I'd take a flamethrower to this place.
Everybody tells you that listening is important, but nobody tells you how to practice listening to actually improve your English speaking. In this video, I'll show you why listening is so important, how I practice listening to actually improve not only my listening comprehension, but also my speaking skills. And finally, the best resources for listening based on your level. Let's get started. Why listening is so important. Let me ask you this. How did you learn your native language? By listening, right? You listen a lot first, and then you started to speak a few words, then a few sentences, and then before you knew it, you became fluent. We acquire a second language the same way. Now you might think, then I just need to listen passively and one day, magically, I'll become fluent. No, it doesn't work like this. Think about how children learn their native language. Do they just listen? No, they listen actively, carefully, and do their best to understand what's being said. When they understand the message, they pick up a little bit of the language. Then they repeat what they understand. They don't care about making mistakes. They speak broken at first, and after enough time and repetition, they speak fluently. It's true for you as an English learner as well. You can learn English, or let's say acquire English subconsciously by consuming comprehensible input. That's exactly what Dr. Stephen Krashen said about language acquisition.
This is how we acquire language. We don't acquire language when we speak. We don't acquire language when we study it. We acquire language in only one way, when we understand it. Most people call that comprehensible input.
When you understand what you hear, even if not every single word, you're quietly and naturally absorbing the language. But remember, you need to listen a lot, and not just passively, you also need to listen actively. Okay, what do I mean by passive listening and active listening? Passive listening is when you listen to English in the background without giving it full attention or while doing other things. Active listening is the opposite. You're not just listening to something in English, you're paying full attention to what you hear. I listen to English every day, both passively and actively. I'll show you how to listen actively to actually improve not only your listening skills, but also your speaking skills. But first, let me show you how I listen to English passively almost the whole day. Here's how I listen to English every day passively. Podcasts and audiobooks. I listen to English podcasts before bed, while commuting to work, and while driving, and while exercising. I love audiobooks. I listen to the same audiobook a few times. I read the same book another time. Sometimes I read the book and listen to its audiobook simultaneously. I listen and skim at the same time. Following along while listening connects words to their spelling, which naturally improves your pronunciation, reading fluency, and listening comprehension all at once. By the way, you can get a free audiobook to improve your listening from audible.com. I'll leave the links for you in the description. YouTube. I consume everything I'm interested in on YouTube only in English. At first, it feels hard, but over time, it becomes easier. Whenever there is an English version of what I want to watch, I don't watch it in my native language. For example, I am into chess. I stopped watching any videos about chess in my native language. I remember when I started watching videos by famous chess channels on YouTube, in the beginning, I was struggling. I understood maybe just 40% or less of what they were saying. They speak too fast and my level wasn't good yet. By now, I understand almost everything they say without looking up new words or translating anything. I didn't analyze or study their videos. My comprehension improves on its own simply because I'm interested in this content. Social media. My social media feed is only in English. TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels. Because I consume only English videos, the algorithms of these platforms understand what I'm interested in and show me only English content. I stopped watching movies or TV shows in my native language. I watch only English movies and TV shows. The only exception is when I'm watching something with my family. And I consider it family time, not learning time. To be honest, I took it a little bit too far, to the point that sometimes I feel guilty if I watch something in my native language. You don't need to go to that extent. But as you can see, I don't dedicate time specifically for passive listening. It's just what I do every day. The only difference is that I do it in English instead of my native language. This passive listening has a great impact on my English. The idea is simple. Consume only English content, not to study it, but just to immerse yourself in the language. And your English will improve a lot effortlessly. But as we said earlier, it's not enough. If you're really serious about your English, you also need to listen actively with some deliberate and focused practice. Here are the 3 exercises I use to listen to English actively. Exercise number 1, 1 minute intensive listening. I take a short clip, 1 minute or less, and listen to it at least 4 times. First time, I listen without subtitles and just try to understand the general meaning. Second time, also without subtitles, but with more attention. I focus and try to catch every single word. I rewind and repeat the difficult parts many times. I don't give up quickly. Third time, I turn the subtitles on and check the words I guessed or the ones I couldn't catch. I look up those unknown words and make sure I understand the video 100%. Fourth and last time, I listen again with subtitles, but I don't just listen, I practice shadowing to also improve my pronunciation and my speaking. I pause after each sentence and repeat it exactly like the native speaker.
I'd show you, but I'm too old.
I'd show you, but I'm too old.
I'm too tired, I'm too fucking blind.
I'm too tired, I'm too fucking blind.
If I were the man I was 5 years ago,
If I were the man I was 5 years ago,
I'd take a flamethrower to this place!
I'd take a flamethrower to this place. I made a video about how I practice shadowing. I'll leave the link in the description. You can watch it after this one. Exercise number 2, Transcription Method. This one is simple to explain but genuinely demanding to do. And it's one of the most effective exercises I've ever tried. I take a short clip, maybe just 30 seconds or even less, and I transcribe it. That means I listen, pause, and write down every single word I hear. I rewind and repeat and don't move on until I've caught every single word. This is powerful because it forces you to pay attention to a level that normal listening never requires. You can't zone out. You can guess and move on. Every word matters. The first time you do this, it'll feel exhausting. And it really is, but it's very effective. Stick with that and it gets easier with time. Exercise number 3, studying mode watching. This one is easier than the previous 2 ones, but it's still very effective for building vocabulary in context. I simply watch a TV show or YouTube video in studying mode. I turn the subtitles on from the beginning. Whenever I see a new word or phrase, I pause the video and learn it. I look it up to know its meaning. Then I go to youglish.com and watch some examples to learn it in context.
Like now, and you have a profound emotional reaction.
And it had a profound impact on.
However, I don't pause and learn every unknown word. This would be so distracting. I just look up the words I'm interested in or the ones that I can't understand the video without knowing. One important note. For active listening, I use slightly more challenging videos. But for passive listening, I use only comprehensible input, where I can understand at least 90% of what I hear. Now it's time for resources. I want to share a few resources to practice listening based on your level. Here is a list of great podcasts for each level. And this is a list of easy and useful audiobooks. Here's a list of YouTube channels for short clips. And if you love stories, these channels are for you. After all this listening, don't forget to practice speaking. In this video, I show you how I practice shadowing to actually improve my speaking. Watch it next.